You don't need to use Instagram just to grow a following. You need to have some control over how people are going to receive content or how you're going to sell your products and services. And the best way, the fastest way to have control is through building an email list. Now I know it seems like the older generation, that's what we do, but it's very, very profitable. And so today I'm going to give you 3 things I think you should do to get started growing an email list. And then of course my commentary on why you should do it. Welcome back to another episode of the Keenya Kelly podcast, where we talk about all things business, marketing your business, and having a balanced life. Today, we're talking all about growing an email list using Instagram. Now, as we all know, that a couple weeks ago, the US government is talking about banning TikTok. I don't think that they will. And of course, all the digital marketers have been talking even more about email list building. And so I've been talking about this a lot on TikTok to my TikTok community. We're actually live right now on TikTok. Hey, TikTok. And so because we are live here on TikTok, we're mostly talking about Instagram, but I want people on TikTok to be able to hear what we're saying about building an email list. Okay. So those of you guys that are watching on TikTok, what's up? I can't look at you because I'm looking here at the YouTube video. All right. So why should you build an email list? Now, specifically, we're talking about Instagram, but TikTok is listening in. So the reason you should build an email list, and I keep saying this, is because you have an extreme level of control when you have an email list. Okay. So if you have 100,000 followers on Instagram, guess what? You don't dictate that every single time you post a video that all 100,000 of those followers are going to see it, going to get notified, all that. But if you utilize the Instagram platform to grow a following and then move that following over to an email system, what you're going to find is that you're going to have a lot more control over being able to communicate with that audience, okay? And so let's unpack that even more. Let's just say this, when we take all of our time to create pieces of content, we want people to see it. We want to be able to monetize that. And especially if we are working with a brand, we want that piece of content to get the highest level of reach and engagement so that brand gets exactly what that brand wants. And then we continue on with our partnership with that brand even further. Here's the value of building an email list. And then I'm going to give you those 3 tips. Let's just say you're on this brand campaign with, let's just say, Make the Leap. And we're going to talk about Make the Leap in a second. It's like a link in bio. Let's say you're on this campaign with Make the Leap and you are creating content for them, right? And now you've posted it to your Instagram. Listen, this is the strategist me coming out, okay? What if you are sending emails on a weekly basis to your community and you sent an email to your community that has, let's just say, 10,000 email subscribers on it. And you say, hey, whatever you normally say, and you say, and today I just launched an amazing opportunity with Make the Leap. I want you to go check it out. Here's the link. Well, all 10,000 of your email subscribers, they all just got that email. And so you're going to have thousands of people that go and flood that piece of content, engage with it and all the things. Why? Because you had control over the conversation. You had control over the conversation. And guess what? That brand is going to be super duper happy because you did what you promised. You posted the content, but you also helped to get the engagement and the views and all that on that particular content. This is one of the many reasons why you should be building an email list on Instagram. But let me go ahead and get into how to actually do this, because it's one thing for me to talk to you about what you should do, and it's another thing for me to teach you how to do it. Okay, so one of the first things you're going to want to do is you got to create some offers. You have to give people a reason to come and join your email list, okay? Because here's the deal. You want something which is for them to join their email list, but you've got to give them something, give them a reason to come and join your email list. So I'll give you an example. We all have heard of Temu, T-E-M-U, and Shein, right? Well, Temu right now is like, look, if you download our app, you join our email list, we're going to give you, 100% off your first order or something like that? You know how they do what they do with Temu. And in exchange, we're like, yep, I'll download the app. I will give you my email address. And then they do give us quite a nice percentage off for joining the email list. But guess why they did that? They did that because they wanted you to join their email list, and so they could have control over being able to communicate with you. Okay. And so when you're thinking about, okay, I've got this website, I've got this whatever, and I want people to join. People are not just going to give you their email address just because you want them to. That's just not how it works. Okay. And so you want to create something that's going to give them a reason to. Okay. For example, when I first started my business, it was a brand design business, and we had a brand personality quiz. Amazing quiz. Cost me a lot of money. Okay. But when someone took this quiz, the results in their email box, once they gave me their email, was going to be their brand personality, strengths and weaknesses of their brands, fonts, colors, all the things. And hundreds of people took that quiz to get what they wanted. We wanted their email and they wanted the result. Right now, we have some amazing free offers, right? One is the top 10 templates for creating a TikTok video or Instagram reel. And then our most popular one right now is 75 video hooks. And so basically, you give us your email address and we give you the top 75 hooks you can use on your videos right now. Right? And so the beautiful thing about that is that people are like, I need these. I'll give my email. And so in exchange, we have their email addresses. Okay. So the first thing you have to have in order to start building your email list from Instagram is you have to have something that to offer to people to cause them to join. Okay. All right. And so that is the first thing. So in order to know what you should actually give people is you have to actually talk to your community. You have to actually find out, what does your community want? What do they need according to what it is you offer? Okay. So right now, I'm not offering anything teaching influencers how to be influencers, because that's not what I do, right? I have friends that do that, but that's not what I do. That's not my expertise. So you have to go, okay, what is your expertise, right? And what is your community about? And then that's what you want to offer them. So let's just say you are a beauty influencer. Then you can tell them, here are my top 10, whatever, like join an email list to get my favorite whatever. I don't know, because I'm not in your lane or whatever. You're an influencer, but you've got to give people something that they want. That way they will join because they get something. Like I remember when the D'Amelios were launching their footwear line, and they were like, join our wait list email list to get to be the first one to know, and you get a discount off. Hundreds and thousands of people joined their email list. Because why? Because they promised to be the first to know and get a discount. Right? But also sometimes people will launch a line of products and they'll say only the first X, Y, and Z get them. And so people will join to make sure that they were the first people to get a thing. Okay. So you could offer something like that where you are giving people something that they cannot get if they don't hurry up and get it on your email list. Okay. So you want to do that by offering them something in exchange for their email. The second thing you need to do to grow an email list using Instagram is all about what is happening in your bio. What are you saying in your bio? Not just the link, we'll get to that in a second, but what are you saying in your bio? In your bio, if you know that your goal is to get people off of Instagram and onto your email list, you've got to talk to them in your bio, and then you've got to lead them to the link in your bio. We'll talk about the link in your bio in just a second. Right? So what does that mean? So for me, my bio says I teach female coaches and course creators how to use TikTok and Instagram to grow their businesses online. Okay. And then it says tools below. Okay. So then it gives a call to action with arrow, tools below. Why? Because one, I'm trying to talk directly who I'm talking to in my bio. And then I'm trying to tell them what to do. Right? So it's that whole CTA, call to action thing. The call to action, same thing goes for inside of your bio. You've got to tell people what to do. I don't mean that in a controlling way, but we're all used to being told what to do. It's kind of like if you go to the movies today, you will see the previews that'll say silence your cell phone, right? And it's not because they're trying to be mean, but they're reminding you, silence your phone. Maybe you forgot. And what that's going to do is going to prompt you to go, oh man, did I silence my phone? It's gonna prompt you to do that, right? You know, like I was at the nail salon and they have like a little sound that goes off reminding them to clean the stations, because sometimes people leave when they're supposed to be cleaning their stations and they forget. But the sound goes off by a certain time of the night, so before the ladies leave, they were reminded to clean their stations. And so the same thing goes for your community on Instagram. If you're wanting them to join, do something with you, tell them what to do in your bio. Yes, I know your bio is about ABC 1, 2, 3 and whatever, but if your number one focus is how do I build my business, make more money, and make it through like it easier for me, you've got to tell people what to do. Okay. And then the third and final thing, this one is kind of loaded, so hopefully you stick with me. And I've talked about this before, is you want to be using chatbot automations to help you with this whole process. Okay, you want to be using, well, no, it's two more things. You want to be using chatbot automations to grow your email list. Now, let me explain. So I'm like backtrack. Okay, so let's okay. So I'm talking about chatbot automations, like the fourth point, but we're gonna go back to that. So third point, chatbot automations is last. Okay, third point. So the third point is, this is about the link in your bio. Okay, so we all know that Instagram gives us the option to have a couple links in our bios, but guess what? You don't really need a bunch of links. You can have one link, okay? Because you can have a link that has a couple different things on the inside of that link, okay? For example, there's a company called Make the Leap, okay? And there's going to be a link to it in the description on this video and here in the show notes on the podcast, okay? Now, the way that this works is that when you go to your link at Make the Leap, you can put as much of the things as you want in that link, okay? So if you go to mine and you click on it, it's going to give you a couple free things, and then it may give you a paid offer, and then it's also going to lead you to our YouTube channel and then maybe to our podcast. So what I talked about earlier about having the call to action in your bio, and you're saying tools below, if you have something like Make the Leap telling people, here's my free thing, here's my free thing, here's my paid thing, or whatever, when they click because of what you said in your bio, it's going to lead them to this link that's going to have a couple of different things on it that will tell people, that will give them what you're promising. So if you go to my link, it's going to allow you to opt into our 75 hooks. It's going to allow you to opt into our templates. It's going to allow you to opt into a couple different things and some of our paid products, all in one link. Okay. So that's the thing I want to share about the link in bio. Okay. Now on to the chatbot automation. Sorry about that. So when it comes to chatbot automations, so one of the things to know about all social media, not just Instagram, they don't want you saying click the link in our bio. Even though there is a link in our bio and we can say click the link in my bio, have you ever noticed how much like content suppression you start experiencing when you start saying click the link in my bio? Why is that? It's because you are causing people to leave the social platform. You're causing them to leave Instagram. So they don't want you telling people to click the link in my bio. So if you're using chatbot automations, that makes it so much easier. Here is why. If you use chatbot automation, like you can utilize a service using a high-level services. It's called Go High Level. They have chatbot automations. And what could happen is that you go into your system in high level and you say, okay, when they type the word hooks, you want to automatically send them this message with this link, and then they can opt into it. That's what could happen through chatbots, okay? That can happen through a high level. There's a service called ManyChat. My favorites right now are High Level and ManyChat, and you can program the system for when someone types a keyword, a certain word, that it's going to automatically reply to them and say, check your DMs. When they check their DMs, they will then get whatever message you programmed it with the chance to opt in. Okay. So for us, we often will say, comment the word hooks. And when they do, we will send them a DM talking about our 75 hooks. And then it gives them where they can just walk through the process of downloading these hooks right there on the inside of Instagram. We also have our course called the Vertical Video Mastery, right? Where we're teaching you all of our strategies for growing on Instagram and on TikTok. And if someone goes to my DM or anything on Instagram and they comment the word vertical, it's going to send them to Vertical Video Mastery. And so I don't have to say, click the link in my bio. I can say, comment the word vertical. And then boom. You know, we have so many viral posts on my Instagram that we just said comment the word hooks or comment the word TikTok or comment certain keywords, and all the people commenting is like astronomical. And we get so many opt-ins to our email list because through Chatbot Automation. Now, some people will go and click the link in my bio, but I'm not going to say that anymore because Instagram doesn't want me to. And so I'm going to give Instagram what it wants. Instagram wants engagement. And so all those people commenting the word hooks or vertical works just the same. All those people commenting in my DM because of the automation tool that's going on, Instagram loves that just the same. And then I get my desired result is people joining my email list. And then they get their desired result of the free thing that I promised them. Okay. So if you're going to really build your business, then you really want to focus on email marketing, okay? Because yes, you can have a big following on social, but no control. But if you have that big following on social and you move that following from social to email, now you have more control and you have more revenue you can generate because now you have control over how often you can talk to them. And when you are pitching a brand or whatever, you can say, well, here's what I've got. How many folks are on my email list? Now you've got more like authority to ask for more money. Okay. So if you have enjoyed this video and you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments. Now make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have new videos that come out twice a week. And if you are listening to this on the podcast, thank you so much for listening. So thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.